What is up, IDP Army? It is week 15, semifinals of the playoffs. We are here Sunday morning, live streaming as per usual. You may or may not be with us because you may or may not be with us. I hope you're still with us, though. How you guys doing today? Bob's with me, and Steve is with me here today. We're going to help you guys get some people into your lineups that hopefully don't destroy you.
It's a big week.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So who were some guys, Bob, because you put out your start sit graphic every week, who were some guys this week that you put into your start sit graphic that you think are worth maybe just highlighting? I got a lot of questions this week about Olakun and Cameron Curl. And
yeah, I mean, I think with Cameron Curl was somebody I listed as a start, and I just think the guy, has he let us down once since he took over the starting role? I just, my opinion on him is just, until he lets us down, which, it's kind of probably a bad way to look at it, until he lets us down, why pull him? He's been solid, I think, every week. I think he's had like one down week, but otherwise last week he had a fumble six or a pick six.
yeah, pick six,
and,
pick six, like 75 yards.
Yeah. So big game there. He's a tackle guy. He's a playmaking guy. What more can you ask from the guy? And it's like, I could see there's somewhere, it's like Jamal Adams or Cameron Curl. Okay, Jamal Adams. But like if you're in the second tier of DBs, it's Curl all day. In my opinion, at least, he was one guy that, and against Seattle, who likes to kind of throw the ball downfield a little bit, work it down,
Yeah.
I like him this week.
Yeah, I like Curl. I mean, his floor is a little bit it's a little lower than I would, but you're not really playing him as a one though, because I mean you picked him up on waivers. So
he was free.
And the risk reward is so good. Yeah. So I'm with you there 100%. I mean, I pretty much told everybody, unless like you said, it was like the one that was kind of tough for me was Jordan Poyer and Cameron Curl. And like Jeremy Chin and Cameron Curl. I said Chin, and I think I said
Chin too.
I think I said Curl. So, but Poyer put up like 13, 14 points last night, which wasn't bad, but that's not like home run hitter stuff. That's not even really that. I mean, Jabril Peppers is putting up like 25 points a week for like half the season. So
yeah, that's wild.
He's a super stud. Y'all get some of your questions on in here if you want. I know I need to go ahead and I can pull some up from the old Twitterverse because I got a bunch on there. Oh, okay. What did you think about that poll I put out this morning about did you see that about?
Yeah, I saw it.
It was the 1010 or Chase Young, and right now Chase Young is pulling away with it. And I think you said Chase Young as well.
Yeah. I mean, in a 12-team Superflex, you're getting a lot of value with the 110, but again, it's you're playing with rookies who, a lot of at that rate, usually a lot of them are translating to the NFL game, but it's like you already have a stud in Chase Young, unless you have guys that are solid already at the DL position and he's a luxury. I'd rather hold him, because DLs are almost like tight ends to the offensive side where they're very dime a dozen with that top tier, or not dime a dozen, excuse me, rare in that top tier. I'd rather stick with Young and, but.
Yeah, like I said, I was inclined to agree with you. I mean, if we consider Young a hit, then you got to stick with them because, like Steve said earlier, that DL position to get a guy that is going to at least put his name in the hat year after year through most of his career. That's the whole battle right there. Get a guy like that on your team. You don't trade him for a single late first, in my opinion. Because I mean, look at all the guys who missed. We don't know if they totally missed, but I mean, Henry Ruggs, Jalen Reagor, Keyshawn Vaughn. That's this year. Denzel Mims. Some people are still high on Mims, but you know what I mean. Like there are people in that area that aren't going to be hits,
right?
And exactly when you get a player like Chase Young, who again, if we're calling him a hit at the position, you got to go Chase Young. So, got one in from Jordan Loop on the old Periscope. Morning, what's up, man? He said, got to play 4 of these 6: Bostic, Goodson, David Long, John Johnson, Chuck Clark, or Josh Jones. What are you thinking, Bob?
I'm probably sitting Bostic and Long, I think, this week. I mean, I like John Johnson. He is that, kind of that home run hitter. Chuck Clark's kind of steady. Josh Jones, if he can stay on the field, he's solid. And then Goodson's got the Giants, who's an okay matchup. And then, Bostic's kind of meh. Long, I don't think is playing full snaps. He filled in for Jayon Brown, but I don't think he's been playing full snaps at the position, which, kind of caps his upside a little bit. But
yeah, I'm thinking for me, I'm going to go Chuck Clark, Goodson, Josh Jones, and probably John Johnson. So I'd probably be sitting David Long and Bostic.
Same. Yep.
I mean, Josh Jones has gone over 10 tackles a couple times this season. He got hurt last week, but we know he can get some numbers. We know Chuck Clark can do some numbers. So that's where I would go, my man. Got an offensive question from TS. Godwin or Deontay, PPR?
I mean, if you're relying on him getting receptions, you want Godwin. But,
there it is, the truth.
Sorry to take the shot there, but
no, I agree with you. You have to play Godwin. Deontay's nice and all, but I'm not. I don't know. I don't like him that much. I'm a Steelers fan. He just annoys me so much.
Yeah, well, it's like, and it's one of those situations where it's like it's not like it's a whatever first down drop and it's going to be a 5-yard gain. It's like a 3rd and 3, and he's taking off down the field if he catches it. But it's those crucial drops that are really killing him. But yeah, it's tough to like him right now. He's getting a lot of action still, even though he got benched last week. But
you should be getting action with him in your leagues by trading him away. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not big on the guy.
Maybe that's a bad take or a hot take, but that's just kind of how I feel. Cash out. Go get somebody who's doesn't drop the ball.
Right.
Thanks. We got our girl Shauna's in here. What's up? Good morning. Thank you for answering my linebacker question last night. Yeah, girl, no problem. What do you think of sitting Logan Ryan to play Janoris Jenkins against Kansas City?
Nope.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I know Mahomes threw 3 interceptions last week or something, but that's the outlier. Yeah, exactly. That's an aberration. Ignore that. That never happened, and it will never happen again because he is the GOAT. Suck it, Tom Brady. Also, my only choice of QB is Andy Dalton or Matt Ryan. Woo! I don't mind Andy Dalton. I've been playing Andy Dalton in my super flex for the past couple of weeks. I did lose my matchup last week, but I lost by 6 points. It wasn't Andy Dalton's fault. I haven't lost any matchups because Andy Dalton's been the problem. He had one pretty disastrous week, 14, 15 points. But other than that, I mean, he's got the weapons around him. The game script's always going to be there for him to throw. If you're spooked off of Matt Ryan because of Julio, because that's the narrative that's out there, and I mean there's proof that is a thing. I don't mind pivoting to Andy Dalton, who has Amari Cooper. Zeke's banged up too, so I mean again, there's just more passing volume. Yeah, he might turn it over 1 or 2 times, but what is that? Minus a point, minus 2 points, minus 3 points. What's that if he's getting another 70, 80 yards? So, and more touchdown opportunities.
Definitely.
I'm with you there.
Russ, good morning. IDP Army, what's up? Rooster playoffs in 3 of 5 leagues and a chance to win 2 leagues to make the championship. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Go bring it home. All right, Nick from the YouTube universe says, Foy, Hewitt, or Vernon, point per tackle, 8.5 points for a sack. Ooh, and I'm guessing you have to pick one.
I'd almost go Vernon. Almost, just because of the point per tackle. I mean, because if you're getting 8.5 per sack, Vernon has a good matchup this week against that Giants O-line.
Yeah, good chance you're going to get a sack.
Danny Lones, who loves to give the ball away. If it was, even 2 point per tackle or, anything else like that, the other two are more appealing. But I like Vernon. I think he's good for at least 1 sack today.
I agree with that logic. I mean, you're kind of handicapping yourself by playing Foy and Hewitt,
right?
By taking away some of that, big play equity.
Yep.
Russ, Deion Jones or Troy Reader? I'm going Jones. I got Tampa Bay, right?
Yep.
Yeah, play Deion Jones. That defense will be on the field plenty. Shauna, cool. Thanks. You're welcome.
Thanks for the question.
Keep coming back. Tell everybody you know. Join the IDP Army. Mike K, what do I do with Joey Bosa moving forward? In my opinion, he's been a big letdown this year. Is it because he's now fat and happy after getting paid, or are better days ahead? I mean, he's not overly wrong. Joey Bosa does have a good season per se, but he's only got like 2 or 3 games where he actually did anything, and he has really let you down a lot. He's my number 2 guy in Dynasty at defensive line. If you're not putting TJ Watt into the defensive line section. And I think it's just a down year, a tough year for that team. I think that Anthony Lynn is just not a great coach, and I think that's kind of trickling down. Yeah, he got paid. He's also been dealing with injury stuff. They said he had concussion. He might have had another concussion.
Yeah,
he was elbow thing. So
he was beaten and battered all year. I mean, he was in and out with a concussion, and then missed a lot of last week because he was being evaluated for a concussion. I mean, I just think, down year, the team's not really playing with a lot of juice right now. I think you could sell him on name value, but if you're not getting, relative worth to what he is at, his arguable peak, I think I'd hold him and, hope for the best. Personally,
Bosa's, man, they're made of glass.
I know, it's so sad. They're so.
But on the flip side of that, though, is like, yeah, he's been hurt, but he's been playing, and he did just have like a 50-point game 2 weeks ago. So we know what the upside is. There's only a handful of guys that can get you up to that kind of point range total in the whole league. Like, there's a handful. We know he's one of them. He did it. So.
Yeah, I think it's one of those guys you just kind of got to deal with the peaks and valleys. You got to take him for good and bad, but you're throwing him in your lineup because he can win you a week. So,
exactly.
Agreed. All right. Revenge game, LOL. Yeah, I guess so for Vernon. So, yeah, if you want to buy into that narrative, do it. Thanks, guys. You're welcome. Bigger upside, Highsmith or Vernon?
Vernon for me.
Yeah, it's got to be Vernon. I mean, look at who he's playing. A team that is just in shambles.
I mean, Cincinnati is a good matchup too, but he's probably the 4th guy to eat on that defense. Because he's got Watt, Tuitt, and Hayward, and then himself. So he's probably the 4th guy to eat, where Vernon would be the 2nd, if not the 1st, because they're going to put more focus on stopping Garrett on the other side. I don't know.
Yep.
I'm with you 100%. Highsmith, I said on the show yesterday, is going to be a guy I talk about a lot this offseason. If you're dynasty stashing, he's probably a guy that'll end up on somebody's team. And whenever the hype pieces start coming out, he'll probably be cut. So even if you don't get him right now, keep an eye on your waiver wires, because he's a guy I could see getting picked up and dropped 2 or 3 times in the offseason, and you might miss him once or twice, but get him on your team. And then once he's there, you don't be the guy who's like, Boobie Williams got signed to Tampa Bay. Like, I got to go get me some of that. Or Jacoby Myers looks great in camp. Like, don't drop Highsmith when that happens. Like, don't be that guy. When that guy does that, pick up Highsmith.
Right. Yeah, no, he was actually in my waiver wire this last week. I listed some IDB stashes, and he was one of them. So same page there.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, gosh, it's that time of the season. I got so many little projects I'm looking at over here that I got to get to hack it on. I'm like, but my thing is, like, I want to wait till we have the one more week. I got to get to week 16. I need to get all, like, 17, get all the data. And I'm like, then I'll feel a little bit more comfortable, like, pushing into next year, because I still feel like some of the guys, we could have some late round dark horses coming up the board here. There's a few guys like Chase Young. He's only got 4 stacks or something like that on the season. He might hit a couple more, push himself up, change our narrative here towards the end of the season. Kind of like Max Crosby did last year. Like,
if he comes up with a 4-stack game.
Exactly. So got to keep, Hassan Reddick, if he blows up again today, like, he's another guy that should not be playing around on your waiver wire, because we don't know what Chandler Jones is going to be about next year, coming back from injury. What is he, 32?
I think it will be by then. Yeah.
We're talking money. Hassan Reddick, I know he hasn't been paid hardly anything. He'll probably want it. He'll probably be cool with a team-friendly deal-ish. You know what I mean? Just because he's played there for a long time.
Right.
Things need to be trending the right way. So we'll see. But today's going to be a pretty telling day, I think. But like I said last week, every time somebody gets a smash spot against the Eagles, I feel like they let you down. It's always like everybody else. All right, Ray on YouTube says Reader LA or Miles Jack Jacksonville. I am Miles Jack.
Yeah, I think so too.
He was hot to start the season. He's been steady putting up points, so I'm sticking with him. Cliff H, YouTube, Hewitt, Miles Jack, Terrell Adams, Eric Wilson need one with upside. Points for interceptions, yards, tackles for loss, sacks. One with upside. I'm interested on. I know who I'm going to pick. Who are you going to pick, Bob?
I mean, I think I like Eric Wilson out of that bunch. Him or Adams.
Bingo. Eric Wilson. That's the answer. He's such an interesting player. The way he scores points, kind of just all over the place. With Kendricks going out now, even some more of that tackle baseline may be available to him. Todd Davis is in, and if you want to start Todd Davis, be my guest. I'm not super excited to do that. I know it's you can play him, but Eric Wilson I think has the upside that you're looking for. In my rankings this week, I do have Miles Jack higher than him. I will say that, but again, if I'm playing just purely for upside, I'm going to play Eric Wilson.
Yep.
Thoughts the play. Russell Mavis says, I like Highsmith, the Monday night matchup. You said, Steelers have a lot of focus on leaving Highsmith to roam wild. Yeah, they do have a lot of guys that are getting focused on. For real. What's up, Russ? How you been, my man? All right, we're missing some people. Where's Malone? Malone, you out there, brother?
Mm-hmm.
Who else are we missing right now?
Let's see, we got there's a bunch of people missing in there.
I hope they won last week. I hope they're not here because they're sad.
Oh man, they might not be here because
maybe we left them down.
Oh man,
Yikes.
They could be here to let us know that we let them down.
Yeah,
I'm typing it out.
Yeah, we appreciate a good
chew my ass out.
Yep.
Get my boys fired up to go win for me today. All right. David Tan says, do I play Peppers with a bad matchup against Cleveland? It's playoff semifinal. Dude, yes, you play Jabril Peppers. I'm going to read you from the Bible.
I don't really think that's a bad matchup either, personally. I mean, with Cleveland runs the ball, that keeps the strong safety involved. And then they do have a higher yards per attempt, so they're throwing the ball downfield a little more than you'd expect. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's a bad matchup personally, but
yeah, I think matchups are a little over, I don't know, considered sometimes. But listen, these are Jabril Peppers' numbers since week 7. 24.4, 26.1, 28.6, 25.7 bye week, 17.8, 23, 28. So his floor this week 7 is 18 points if you round up. His ceiling, his down week. He's basically averaging 25 points a week.
Mm-hmm.
And, IDP 1, 2, 3 scoring or similar scoring, it'll be very similar to that. If you have the balls to take a guy like that out of your lineup, hats off to you, my man. You must have some good.
Well, right here. Here you go.
All right, Cliff. Jamal Adams or Peppers? Oh gosh. I'm leaning Peppers because of the crazy points the last few weeks. But I have been playing Adams through the year. My gut is saying Peppers in a revenge game. Oh, you can't go against your gut. Ain't that the truth?
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Peppers over Adams this week. I mean, I don't know.
I think, do you think Adams is going to get another sack this week?
No.
Yes, of course he will.
I think he will. I think
what are you talking about? No.
An unprecedented record.
There's not, dude. He's gonna
give him sacks. Did you see that sack they gave him?
He's going to get double-digit sacks this season. He's gonna get one this week. That's all he does is rush the passer.
Yeah, they didn't get a safety. They got a pass rusher.
Yeah, straight up.
Hey, whatever works. They needed one.
They got two of them, really.
Yeah.
All right, here's Jamal Adams' point total since week 9 when he came back. 23, 33, 5, 27, 28, and 18. So, I mean, they're both – it's neck and neck. And I would play Jamal. Oh, I can't say it. I can't even say it.
Oh, man.
Harder than you.
Adams or Julie?
Man, this is so hard. I'm a Jabril Peppers stan, like,
yeah, I know.
and I'm a Jamal Adams stan.
Right.
Like, people when he got traded, people were like, "Oh, fade him. He's like my DB5 this year." I'm like, "Are you high on drugs?"
Nope.
Like,
Number one.
Oh my gosh. Oh, dude. All right, Cliff. First and foremost, I hate you. This sucks. Listen, he said, "Say it."
See, it's hard.
I would play Jamal Adams. And that hurts so much to say, but I would play Jamal Adams over Jabril Peppers. Personally, I would. But that is a tough decision to make.
That's why I came here.
Yeah, so we could bungle it instead of him. I'm thinking about this whole week. Man, that's tough when you got lineups like that where you have studs like where you're like, I can't fit this guy into my lineup, but it just hurts. Like, I don't, you don't want to be like that guy that's like, oh, look at my roster. But everybody's got a league or two like that where you're like, nobody's coming for this shit for a while. Like, yeah, okay. Keep the questions coming in, ladies and gents. We will do our best to help you sort it all out. What are you guys? What are your guys' matchups looking like this week? You got any titles that you think you're actually gonna, or how are you looking after yesterday, basically? And what did you think about yesterday's games?
Yeah, I thought the Packer game. I didn't watch a whole lot of it. I just kind of tuned in on my phone, but I thought it was kind of a weird game. Just kind of Packers seemed like they were just gonna run up the score and run away with it, and then they just kind of, whatever. You don't care,
dude. They're overhyped. I mean, I've been saying it all season. They've only played like 2 teams with a winning record all year, and one of them was Tampa Bay, and they got dominated.
And Indy lost to Indy too.
Yeah, so the only 2 of the only 3 teams they've played that are good, they lost to. Yep. The people that are beating up on Jacksonville and the Jets, and the media is eating it up. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, 40 touchdowns, MVP pace. Oh my gosh, Devontae Adams, he's a god. And it's just like, come on, the low-hanging fruit. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Well, you know what? We'll see what happens when they get into the playoffs.
Remember when they did the same shit to Patrick Mahomes when he won the MVP? Because remember, Drew Brees, the most efficient passer of all time. Drew Brees. And I'm like, Patrick Mahomes would eat Drew Brees alive. In a fist fight, in a football game, fuck that old man. All right, sorry, y'all. I just had to go to bat for my man Josh Allen there for a second. That was a Josh Allen rant, just in case anybody was wondering.
We know.
Okay, great. All right, lunch table legend. What's up, man? There's one of the usuals. He says, start 4, Neville Hewitt, Jalen Smith, John Bostic, Avery Williamson, Foye, Bates, and Reddick are on the wire, but I feel so about their matchups. Opponent has Joe Show. So, do I play Miles Jack to counter? First off, wouldn't play Miles Jack to counter. That wouldn't be like a thought process I had. I would be open to playing Miles Jack, but it would have nothing to do with Joe Schobert being there. Start 4. Jalen Smith is a super lock. Neville Hewitt is a super lock. I would go pick up Foye. He's a super lock. And then I would play Bates, even over Reddick's matchup as a super lock. I would not play Bostic, who's already on your team, or Williamson. I like Williamson. I love Avery Williamson. But Foye and Bates represent things that Avery Williamson hasn't represented in a while. He's had like a good game, but they've been like balling all season. They shouldn't be on your wire. Agree, disagree? What do you guys think?
100%.
Bada boom. Need more IDP spot for choosing between Adams and Peppers. Yeah, I was gonna say up to Cliff's earlier. I don't know what your setup is. I try not to be too judgmental, but it sounds like you guys could add a spot or two or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, something like that.
All of them. Spots.
all of the above.
But we're here to help you make, any size of rosters. I got leagues where I just start 3 IDPs. I got leagues where we start 6, 9,
I have 12.
12. Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
I love that.
I love that too.
forgot to include Miles Jack. Yeah, even in the earlier with Miles Jack being included, I still think I might play Miles Jack over Jesse Bates.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I would run Foy, Jack, Jalen, and Hewitt. So
Mhm.
Bills Mafia. Yes, sir. You already know. Second flex, do I play injured, broken Zeke or
Not
Marvin
when
Jones or
40
Gus
points.
Bus? You gotta play Zeke, right? I don't have Zeke, so I'm just very happy that I'm not a part of whatever that is.
Unfortunately, I do in
So how's it feel?
Army League. It is a bad feeling.
Is it like that meme where the guy's just getting kicked in the nuts like over and over?
Pretty
And
much.
he's like, this doesn't hurt. But
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt because you're just numb to the pain.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to help David here. David, my man, I would play Marvin Jones. No, I wouldn't. I play Zeke. You probably your first pick in your draft. If you're going into your semifinals and you're putting Gus Bus or Marvin Jones in, you will never hear the end of it.
Mm-mm.
Play Zeke and ride or die, baby.
I mean, unless Gus Bus or Marvin Jones blow up over Zeke, then you look like a friggin' wizard.
Yeah, that's.
I call it low odds, but hey.
Yeah.
Are you a gambler, Bob?
You're a gambling man.
Okay, me either. I know most of our peers
Yes, it's
are
just
gamblers.
when you've been punched in the gut so many times, you just want
There's Malone. What's up, man? Gotta win this week, and I'm in the ship. What's good? Yes, sir. Knew you were out there somewhere. TM Jumper Mint _ Mims, Avery Williamson or Buda Baker. That's Buddha. Easy. He's amazing. He's so good. He's got to be first team all pro.
Yeah.
All right, Bob. So I won't attack you if you say Aaron Donald, but who do you think the defensive player of the year should be?
Should be Watt.
Okay, you agree it should be TJ Watt?
I'm not a huge Donald guy to begin with, but I mean, I don't know. I just like Watt. What he's doing, what he's done. I don't know. I kind of agree. I know you've mentioned, on Twitter or whatever, kind of that whole narrative of, pushing Donald no matter what. But I just like, I don't know. I prefer Watt.
Yeah, 100%. Donald people are like, oh, he's so underrated. I'm like, he's not people he's constantly talked about.
Yeah.
Constantly. He's been given all the accolades he could ever want. They already ripped us off last year by giving it to Stephon Gilmore, who's done nothing this year. He's a ghost. How do you go from being the best defensive, most dominant defensive player in the league one year to being nothing the very next year? TJ Watt didn't miss a beat. He has 39 quarterback hits. He already has more. He has more quarterback hits right now at this point in the season than last season's quarterback hit leader had all year. He has more tackles for loss than anybody in the league. He hasn't even had a monster sack game. He just consistently puts up numbers, interceptions, pass deflections. He finally got his first forced fumble of the year this year. He had 8 last year. Stephon Gilmore, Stephon Gilmore had 20 pass deflections. So fucking what? Who did the Patriots play last year? They dominated. The only people that they had a trouble with were the Bills, and that's because people didn't realize the Bills were good last year. All right, end rant. You guys over here cracking me up about Jamal and Pepper situation. Convo in my head. Yeah, Alex Singleton or Eric Wilson. Similar conversation in your head. I'll probably still go Eric Wilson here personally.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends which, do you want that high ceiling play or do you want that, safer play in Alex Singleton? I think it kind of depends on who else you got starting, but I think I'd actually lean Singleton, I think, but I can't fault either way, because it kind of, like I said, it kind of depends on what you're playing for. Do you want a big play ceiling guy that might not leave you a lot if he doesn't make those plays, or do you want a guy who's probably gonna at least give you a decent floor game?
Yeah, I like Wilson because I've just been playing him all year, and he at one point this season was like the linebacker 2 or 3. Like halfway through the season, he was just putting up those kinds of numbers. Singleton has had, like you said, though, a pretty safe floor here towards the end of the year. I'm fine with both, but I would lean Eric Wilson. That's me personally. Neville Hewitt, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, or Leonard. Okay, I'm guessing that is just pick one. Guys, I did drop the link to our Patreon into the chat. Steve and I got one set up. We're gonna host the website and hopefully get some new equipment up around here and pay for StreamYard and all that. So if you want to join the IDP Army with some support, click on that. Send us a couple of bucks. We'd appreciate it. Steve can pay for his new whip that he's got coming.
Yeah, I got a job to do that.
Yeah, this isn't going to pay for no whip.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All right, so what do you guys think about this? You can't sit Darius Leonard if that's like the question.
Right.
Letus Tramad. Give us a little bit more context. Oh, it looks like he has a little bit down here. All right, so let's get Cliff real fast. Forgot you guys do offensive questions. Another one, Ayuk, Godwin, Juju, McLaurin, Cooks, AB, full PPR pick 3. All right, you want to go first, Bob?
Yeah, sure. So I like Ayuk and Godwin. Those are locks for me. And then the rest are kind of. I'd probably go McLaurin.
Yeah, bingo.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same.
Exactly.
McLaurin's had 2 down weeks. He's only had 5 down weeks his whole career. This is we're coming up to the end of his second season. Like, just play Terry McLaurin, okay? Like, this isn't rocket science. People are so scared. All right, so he said pick one. Yeah, it's Darius Leonard there, my man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they said, is Zeke out?
No, he's expected to play. Unless something like just came down.
I don't know.
In the last minute.
I think. I don't know. It's 10:30, so this just came up. Somebody confirm for me in the chat. Is Zeke out? All right, we'll get back to helping people because I'm running a little behind on questions here. Travis Knott said struggling on defensive tackle. What?
I just got word that Zeke is out from inactive.
Done.
Wow.
Yes! That makes me so happy. Sorry for Zeke, but my brother-in-law, who's kind of a jerk, has Zeke in a league where I just got knocked out of the playoffs last week. And he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll win it for you." I'm like, "Motherfucker, I want you to lose. I don't want you to win. Like, don't want you to win nothing for me." So he's been running all season. It's our dynasty league. He's been running all season with 3 running backs. I shit you not. He said Zeke, Jacobs, and he's like somebody else that like, doesn't matter. And he somehow is like one of the best teams in the league. And it's dynasty. And he has 3 running backs. I'm just like, what is going on right now? And they've been like questionable 1,000 times, but they always play. And it always just gets him there. Anyway.
Is it bad that I feel better about playing Tony Pollard than I do Ezekiel Elliott?
No, because with that volume, he's going to do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start Jonathan Allen over Sue. I know Sue's gotten home a couple of times kind of, this year, but I still like Jonathan Allen. He did leave with a groin injury last week, though. So what do you think?
I'd probably side the same way. I'm not a big defensive tackle guy. So.
I know, right? You're really just whoever gets the most whoever gets a tackle for loss, a pass defended is gonna,
right.
Get it home. You guys are awesome. Appreciate your hard work, fellas. Yeah, no problem. We do it for the love. We do it for the love. All right, Gustavo. If Carlos Dunlap plays, he's not playing though, right? Would you play him over Olivia Vermin? I don't trust him with foot injury. I thought I saw that he's not playing.
You might be right. I wouldn't play him over him anyway. I'd stick with Vernon regardless.
Yeah. Go with Vernon. Agreed. Start 2, Eric Wilson, Avery Williamson, David Long, Harvey Lange. This is from Patrick Mitchell on the U's and the Tubes.
I like Eric Wilson and Harvey Lange. Pretty close for me. Or pretty set for me.
You're really in on Lange, huh?
I'm a little in on Lange.
Over Williamson?
It's close. I don't really care for him against the Bengals this week.
I would go Wilson and Williamson, me. But I'm not knocking the Lange play. It'd be tough for me to roll out a guy named Harvey Lange in semifinal week.
Hey.
I said the same thing about Donald Payne last year, and he waxed me. So just FYI. Brian Williams, YouTube, says Winfield, Curl, Peppers at DB, and Reader Singleton at flex. So I'm guessing one DB and then one flex. I might go Peppers and just flex Curl. You know what I mean? No,
yeah,
I'm playing Peppers and Singleton if that's the context of what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, I would do the same.
Yup. R. Pete, repeat here. All right. Yeah, I got it right last week. I've become a regular and happy. I found you guys. Oh, thanks. Any word on Van Noy injury this week? Also, what's your thoughts on Gross Matos' future production? I will look at Van Noy real quick. What do you think about Gross Matos?
I'm pretty sure there was optimism on Van Noy this week, him playing. Not 100% sure, but I looked into him and Landon Roberts because I was writing up stuff about Jerome Baker. But Gross Matos, I think, Burns is going to be the one there. But I think if they can build around, build back the defense a little bit, get some corners in there that could actually cover for more than 2 seconds, Gross Matos will be a guy that'll, maybe make some noise as a 2 and a fairly reliable DN 2-3 on that team. So I don't know if he's going to be, a world beater by any means, but
Agreed.
He's a stash for me.
He's a stash. You're hoping that the opposite of what happened to Clelin Ferrell, the Clelin Ferrell stash happens to him, and he actually pops and turns into something.
Right. God.
Clelin Ferrell is dust. If you have him,
terrible dude.
Dust.
Man,
I feel bad for you. Morning IDP Army. Only one decision to make this week: Josh Jones or Von Bell.
Josh Jones.
Josh Jones.
Josh Jones.
Man,
I don't know. I hate Von Bell. I don't know.
Whoa! Why?
I don't know. He did like nothing through the first half of the year. The last 2 weeks after I dump on him in my start sit article, he goes
That's
off.
Life, man. That's life. Embrace it.
He probably read it and he's like, well,
I'm better than that. I'll show that guy.
Oh, you think Bates is the DB to roster and in Cincy? Well, guess what?
Fuck you.
Yeah,
these are his point totals since the bye, though. 13, 27, 27.8, 16.7, and 8.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh does like to throw. So they like to possess the ball for a while. No shade on Josh Jones. Who's Josh Jones play again this week? I got you. He's playing Baltimore.
Yeah.
These are Josh Jones's point totals, though. I mean, this is going back to week 6. 18, 7. He got 14 bye week. 8 against Houston. Then he missed 3 weeks to an injury. Then a 17-point and 4-point game where he got injured again last week. So
Everything
you're talking about a guy who doesn't even have 20-point upside in his game and injury struggles.
Every game, well, yeah, and that's the big thing. Every game under 10 was he left due to injury.
Fair.
So I mean, I guess take Von Bell this week, but I would be genuinely worried that Josh Jones plays the full game because he, is kind of proven, and this is coming from a guy who hated him when he was in Green Bay. He's just not been able to stay on the field, and
there you go. Von Bell has to stay on the field. Von Bell,
he's played 100% of the snaps almost all year, so I think he's missed like 3 snaps all year. So
I didn't want to I'm not trying to dunk on it if you think, but
No, you're good.
I'm just saying I like Von Bell there. I understand the appeal of Josh Jones, but if you got stud, maybe it hasn't been as pretty as we thought it would be with Von Bell. Coming in the season, I think I had as like DB 4 or 5.
Yeah,
he hasn't been that good, but he's been damn good. He's been damn good. All right, Russell Mavis. Do you know if Sleeper will have QB hit columns?
They do.
Stats? Really?
A
QB hit. I don't know. I mean, I think that would be they don't. I don't think they have it on there. At least they don't on mine. I'm not scrolling over. No, they have tackle snaps, forced fumbles, sacks, fumble recoveries, interceptions, and touchdowns. They don't have tackles for loss. They don't have pass deflections. They don't have
you're right.
They don't have quarterback hits in their data there set. That's something that I'm hoping that they can upgrade this offseason, because that would make it. And again, for research purposes, it's so nice that they have all that stuff for offensive players with the snap percentages, yards per target, all the yardage. That stuff's, it's a quick way to look that stuff up without getting, online somewhere.
Right.
Patrick Mitchell, start 1, Godwin, Sanders, or QT?
Godwin.
Yeah, it's Godwin.
100%.
I mean, I like Sanders as well as anybody else, but they showed last week that they're fine trotting out Jordan Howard if they need to. Emmanuel Sanders.
Just making sure you knew it wasn't a flex spot, I think.
I gotcha. Pick 2, Gurley, Gus Bus, Pollard, Miami running back. I don't know who's starting a Miami running back.
Nobody does.
Pollard is definitely one.
Yep.
With Zeke being out.
Yep.
Gurley is, now that he's off my final dynasty roster, I can say it publicly. He's dust. He's dust. The Miami running back has some appeal to me. Oh, they play New England though, don't they?
Yeah, no, I'd go Gus Bus here. With Ingram's been labeled inactive, so.
Oh, for real?
Yep.
Oh shit.
So I'd say Gus and Pollard.
Gus and Pollard, I'm with you right there. Oh, Gurley was such a landmine on my team this season. Like, he would do just enough to be useful to me, but he was doing just little enough that I knew that it was over.
Right.
I was able to.
It's like Zeke.
I gave him Marquise Brown. No more Hollywood.
Yeah, no more.
Michael Gallup, I gave him for Kareem Hunt.
Already a win.
I know. And something else, just a scrap piece. But I mean, like you said, that was a win. To just get rid of Hollywood and Gurley in one fell swoop. I still love Michael Gallup, but this guy was a Cowboys fan, so that was the icing on the cake. I was like, just get these dead weights off my team now.
Yep.
So I kept Melvin Gordon on my team. He just like Gurley, been dead weight all season. Halfway. Just good enough to be playable, just bad enough to be like, this is a nightmare. All right, Emmanuel, what's up, brother? How you guys doing? Living good. I didn't get the 7 wins in a row, but am in the semis. You guys rock. Appreciate it. We always love being doted on. We love affirmations. Keep them coming.
Okay.
I want my ego to get boosted. Hollywood. Oh, Hollywood. Ugh, got Hollywood on the mind. Gross. Holcomb out. So John Bostic gets a nice matchup against Seattle. Run heavy offense. Are we still calling Seattle a run heavy offense? That's a thing. They run the ball, but everyone runs the ball.
Yeah.
Do you trust him over big names like Bates? No, I don't trust John Bostic over big names like Bates, Avery Williamson, and Miles Jack personally. And like I said, I don't know if we can really call Miami a run heavy team anymore. I mean, that's the narrative was around them for 2 seasons, but they've definitely evolved as a team. They don't have the defense to be a run heavy team.
Right.
The only reason they're where they are right now is because they can hang on offense, and you aren't a run heavy team if you're hanging on offense. And that's I don't even know where. Yeah. Emmanuel, need help with my running back dilemma. Am I starting King Henry and Chubb? Am starting King Henry and Chubb. Need 2 in my flex. Akers, Sanders, and Drake.
What do you guys like?
Easy there, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Give me a minute to digest.
Yeah, golly.
Man.
Oh, you're all snappy with your IDP answers.
I know.
Your offensive answers.
I'm very
I know what I would
versed in
do.
IDP right now, but
I know what I would do. I would
Okay,
go
go ahead.
Akers. I would go Akers and Drake. Because I don't like Miles Sanders.
I don't either.
it's kind of the way I was leaning. I like Sanders, but I don't like his situation more than anything.
I'm not scared to say it. I've never liked Miles Sanders. He was a first-round pick this last year. People are insane.
Miles Sanders.
Hype.
Exactly. Hype.
He's the next Christian McCaffrey. Show me a game where Miles Sanders touches the ball 35 times in his life. Do you prefer Godwin over Emmanuel Sanders? Yes.
Yes, please.
It's a real question. I mean, sorry, Patrick. I'm not trying, but dude.
Yes.
Emmanuel Sanders is old busted. Yeah, he caught a touchdown last week or some shit, but we know what this offense does. It literally has 2 tits. Alvin Kamara's on one. Michael Thomas is on the other.
Michael Thomas is out.
They use all three downs to get us a new set of downs, and they score touchdowns. Emmanuel Sanders is not. There's no need for him.
What about Taysom Hill? There's got to be a third nipple for him.
Man, we probably don't have anybody that's a Saints fan that even pays us likes us.
No, well, you've trashed them.
I do. I just don't like the Saints. I mean, I like some of the guys on the team, but
I don't know.
There's just something about them. Y'all got any more questions? It's early for y'all to be quieting down, or I'm caught up on the questions. I'm usually 10, 20 behind.
Well,
here we go. We got some more. Michael Thomas is out. I forgot about that. I'm still not doing it. That's still got Alvin Kamara written all over it. He just got 2 titties today. Titty baby. Him and his grill and his titties. All right, I gotta stop. Sanders is the number 1. I don't believe that. Drew Brees is back. I don't like Drew Brees. You're not going to get an unbiased answer that's going to be real from me. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say don't do it. I'd probably tell you to sit Michael Thomas. I mean, just you can't trust me when it comes to Saints play.
Man, you killed me, man.
I would. The thing is, like, I don't own a single Saints player, offense or defense. I've put Chauncey Gardner and Janoris Jenkins on and off my teams a couple times. I don't have a single Alvin Kamara share. I don't have a single Drew Brees share. I don't have a single Cam Jordan share. I don't have a single Michael Thomas share. I don't have a single Traquan Smith stash. I ain't got none of it.
No Demario Davis?
No Demario Davis.
I love Demario Davis. And I love him. None of it.
Oh,
I don't fuck with Saints.
Led me to a championship last year.
I will say I did have Alvin Kamara his rookie season, and he was good for me then. I tried to trade him away, though. Like, I picked him up, and I tried to trade him to get Devontae Adams on my team. That ended up getting vetoed, and I left that league. It was really dramatic. And then I did also have Michael Thomas his rookie season, where I picked him up and traded him for Michael Crabtree or Amari Cooper. Only time I've had any Saints players. Just get rid of them. Get out of here. I hate them. All right, Emmanuel says Grady Jarrett or Sheldon Richardson. Man, I'm going Richardson. Grady Jarrett's been kind of lately.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I just don't trust him.
Yeah. Well, they have no other, viable pass rush on that team.
Exactly. So he's doing everything. Their outside guys suck.
Because Fowler's been,
terrible.
Trash. Yeah.
He's been injured, apparently. They gave him so much money, and he hadn't done anything.
Yeah, he's done nothing.
Same with my man. I mean, those are my 2 big. I mean, if anybody listens to the show, those are my 2 huge misses from the offseason. I was a Devontae Fowler stan, and I was a Robert Quinn stan. And both of them got hurt, like, in the early part, like, preseason. I was like, oh, they'll be fine. Everything's going to be great. And I was like, they got paid. They're going to get to the blah, blah. Nope. Wrong. Garbage. Trash like my takes. But anyway, Sheldon Richardson, he gets the Giants. Obviously, we talked about the proneness of Danny to turn the ball over and get sacked. Sheldon Richardson's been having a good season. You know, he gets tackles for loss, he gets sacks, he gets forced fumbles, and he's playing on another line. I mean, this line is a really good line. I mean, not just in the division, but in the league, with Vernon, with Garrett, obviously with himself, and Larry Ogunjobi, who's a guy I like. So, A. Jordan, expound upon your Chase Young is a disappointing Rookie of the Year take. Laughing my fucking ass off. You made it sound like he was damn near overrated. You're my dog, though. Well, I'm just saying, like, if you consider what he's done compared to a lot of pass rushers in their rookie seasons that have gotten Defensive Player of the Year, it's like, you know, it's not as much. I mean, the standard's the standard, right? Like, you have to be X good. I mean, the draft capital is part of it, yeah. The college, you know, where you went to college is part of it, yeah. But it's also about what you put on the field. You know, look at Darius Leonard. He, you know, went out there and he got Rookie of the Year because he, you know, from a small school because of what he did on the field. They could have given it to Derwin James that year. FSU, you know, a little bit more well-known.
Prestige.
Yeah, prestige. That was the year that the Chargers actually went to the playoffs. Like, things were good. But it went to the guy who actually did the best, you know, performed. It should be the same this year for Jeremy Chin. That's not shade at Chase Young. That's just facts. Jeremy Chin is doing everything. He's doing Defensive Rookie of the Year numbers type shit in the games. Yeah, last night he was a little bit down. But, I mean, Chase Young has been a little bit down almost every single game this year.
Yeah.
So
I think it's one of those things where you rate it against expectation. And Jeremy Chin was barely coming in expected to start when he
last pick of the second round. Second round. Chase Young, what was he, number 2 overall?
2, yep.
So look at what Chase Young's done. Bradley Chubb 2 years ago came in the league as a rookie, had 12 sacks. You know,
Yep.
You know, like that's, you know, these are the numbers you have to get to be considered that 10, 12, 13, playoff 16 games. Montez Sweat has better numbers on that line than he does.
Yep.
You know, I mean, he's not even the best player on his team. How can he be the best rookie in the league? I mean, Jeremy Chin is probably the best defensive player on his team, and he's probably the best defensive rookie, you know, player on his team. So that's, I would say actually Brian Burns is a better player, but Jeremy Chin is Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's just my opinion. They're going to, like I said, they're going to do everything that, and no matter what Montez Sweat, because they're just going to try to give him everything, you know, because he already he has that coming in for him. He has the pedigree, he has the name, he has the look, he's got the brand, you know, he's got it, you know, like you said, for the expectation. I said on the show yesterday, so I think what they're referring to is I said, you know, no matter what Montez Sweat does in his career, he's never going to get the appreciation for it, because it's either going to be, if he does really great, it's because, you know, Mr. Cool Guy's gonna be like, oh, it's because, you know, Chase Young's eating double and triple coverage all the time. Like all they say about Aaron Donald. Apparently, Aaron Donald only sees triple coverage.
Man.
And so they're going to do the same thing. But then on the flip side, if Montez Sweat doesn't do as good as Chase Young in a season, oh, Montez Sweat's just better. So it doesn't matter whether Montez Sweat performs or not. He's never going to be able to get to where, you know, Chase Young is going to get. And if he does, he's going to have to do twice as much as Chase Young would have to get there. That was kind of the narrative I said about, you know, Montez Sweat yesterday, but I guess that's what he's talking about Chase Young as well. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to actually just, while I'm just like rambling, let's just pull up Jeremy Chin's season. He's got 101 combined tackles already through 13 games. He's got 2 touchdowns, got a sack, 5 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, an interception, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 tackles for loss, 4 quarterback hits. Those are some damn good numbers.
For a safety.
For a safety from a small school.
Yep. Yeah, who had literally no expectation coming in. You know, he wasn't even expected to start when he was drafted.
What was he, 6th safety taken? Defensive player taken? What was he, like, probably 18, 19, 20th? More than that even?
Probably, yeah.
Chase Young was number one, and this guy's got. I mean, again, I love Chase Young.
Yeah,
He's a top 10 dynasty IDP, asset, I think, over long term and all that because the upside. But if we're talking this year, right now, who's the rookie of the year? I mean, Chase Young's got 47, or he's got 35 tackles, 5.5 sacks, 8 quarterback hits, 8 tackles for loss. There's nothing about this is blowing my mind. 3 forced fumbles, okay. 3 pass deflections, all right. I like seeing those auxiliary stats. But he's doing this as well he's played almost 600 snaps. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of defensive snaps for a defensive lineman. I think, I would think his numbers maybe could be a little better than that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is it's less of an indictment on Chase Young and more of an endorsement of Jeremy Chin, what he's doing.
Exactly.
As opposed to, it's not like Chase Young is, he's terrible. He's having a good season, and he's been fine for fantasy. But, what Jeremy Chin's doing is downright impressive.
Yeah. And you guys know how I am. I mean, I'm not scared to put my voice out there and have a contrarian opinion or a different take. I mean, just because somebody's got to put the juju out there. Why do you think I woke up this morning and tweeted that TJ Watt should be Defensive Player of the Year? Because somebody's got to say it. You got to start saying it, or else they're just going to be like, because I've heard people say, oh, Aaron Donald. I mean, you already hear the Aaron Donald talk, Aaron Rodgers talk. Why do you think I say things like Josh Allen should be the MVP? You just got to put it out there. I mean, you got to stand for your guys. You got to let people know, there are people that have this opinion. And, I'm thinking the easy thing to do is just pander to Aaron Donald and Aaron Rodgers and Chase Young. And I don't think that's the right thing. So that's my opinion.
And I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Yep. We agree.
You
It's
happy,
fine.
Tyreek? You big mad? No, I'm just kidding. How high are you guys on Cameron Curl this week? Bro, I'm so high on Cameron Curl. My eyes are bloodshot right now. I got him at 8 on my defensive back rank for the week.
He's up there for me too. I don't know
That's pretty
exactly
high.
where, but he's up there.
He's a top 10 play.
Yep.
Nice.
I mean, the only people you're sitting him for would be guys in that top 5. But
Exactly. Pat 10 Gooey 23. Hey guys, quick IDP question. Would you play Aldon Smith versus the 49ers or Carlos Dunlap versus the Jets? Thanks so much. Man, Dunlap's I thought he was going to be out for sure. Like, he didn't even practice this week apparently.
he also plays the football team, not the Jets.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Seattle versus Washington. They played them last week, so I'd still go with Smith. But
yeah, I'm gonna go Smith because the last thing you want is to see Carlos Dunlap hobbling off after the first, defensive snap and be like, "Well, there goes my day."
Right.
There's a 0. Lunch table legend sending a box emoji.
It's a laugh face.
Oh, you guys can see that. I can't.
Yeah,
What is that? My computer's old, I guess. Running Windows 95 over here, guys. Make sure you hit up the old Patreon. All right.
He needs it.
Y'all think they're gonna give Defensive Player of the Year to Donald again? I'd be so sick, man. Yeah, I mean, you saw how quick they were to give it to Gilmore last year, who did nothing. He had 6 interceptions or whatever. Yeah, he picked off Andy Dalton and like a couple other bums. Oh, I'm still so mad about it.
You were salty about it.
I'm mad. And who is he now? He's nobody. How do you go from the best defensive player in the whole NFL to 5 months later you're a ghost? It's fake. It's not real. TJ Watt was robbed. All right.
Back on his soapbox.
It doesn't take much. Thoughts on BJ Goodson?
Meh,
but
he's fine. I mean,
he's been reliable though this season.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it depends on who you're lumping him in with. I think he's fine. I don't think he's the answer there long term.
Oh no. But I mean, he's been he started out the season a little bit better, more consistently. But I mean, he's been their go-to linebacker all season.
Yeah,
Browns linebacker has a record of being productive. I will say he doesn't have any double-digit tackle games on his record for the season, so that's kind of a bummer. But I mean, his worst game of the season was last week, so I can understand why people may be hesitant or scared to play him. But against the Giants this week, he does have some interception upside. He's had 2 of those, so he gets his hands on the ball. That's why he was, been able to score. I like Goodson.
Oops.
Y'all make sure you like, subscribe, do all that stuff.
Leave us some comments.
Yeah, leave us some comments. Do that.
We love to hear your feedback.
Love it. Lay it on, man. Appreciate Bob coming on with us 2 weeks in a row, helping us out.
Thanks for having me, man. Happy to be here.
We'll do this next season again, obviously. Different format than our previous years, but I kind of like the switching up. I mean, we've had Bob on, we've had Adam on, we had John on.
It's always fun to have a guest.
Yeah. It takes some of the the weight off my shoulders when I'm wrong. I'm like, well, he was wrong too.
Other people can be wrong.
Yeah. I feel like last week we did pretty good with most of our calls, but
I don't even pay attention.
I could be wrong. I don't usually go back and
I work linearly. I don't look backwards. I give you an answer, and then once noon kicks off and everybody's locked in, you're dead to me. I did the best I could, I promise.
Probably a lot more peaceful that way.
Yeah. TJ about to get robbed again. Man, I'd like to see somebody rob TJ out in the streets. Ooh. Who we looking forward to get out of the draft? I don't know what that means. I guess you're a Steelers fan, Russ. Who we looking forward to get out of the draft?
There's a lot of chatter about Pitt drafting Najee Harris. Like a lot of chatter on it. And I think it's just
they won't. He'll be too much. They won't waste a pick that high on a running back.
Right. Well, because they're going to be probably mid-20s at this rate, you think?
Yeah, there's no fucking way Steelers are winning a first round pick. They won't even spend that on receivers.
It's gonna be defense or
a
like
quarterback
line.
They might maybe. And why would you do that too? There's a lot of good free agent running backs this next year that are just gonna be floating around. I mean, pick up Gus Bus. You know what I mean? I mean, there are guys available. Wouldn't surprise me if Nick Chubb. I mean, what if we get a Nick Chubb holdout, Kareem Hunt situation? I mean, we don't know what's gonna happen. Najee Harris is the least of my concerns.
I see it just constant, and it's one of those things where it's like,
oh, go ahead.
It's one of those things where it's like it's easy, and I think when people do mocks, especially people who play fantasy, they're like, "Oh, this would be so cool," exactly. Najee Harris the Pitt, and I'm like, I don't.
It's that time of year where I'm just the flood of screenshots of look at this mock. Ooh, I would kill for this draft. Blah, blah, blah. Look, 14 trades, man. It's just like shoot me in the head already. I'm already sick and tired of it. Hadn't even started yet. I get it. It's fun. I don't think Najee. I don't know. I'm a Steelers fan. I don't think they'll do something like that. If they did, what does that even mean? Our line is aging. Our quarterback is barely. I mean, I'm just hoping he can hold it together. Don't you dare say dust about Big Ben. I'm just hoping he can.
I love Big Ben.
All stay attached.
I like the Steelers.
So. They're going to the playoffs, but we need him to be there in the playoffs. Like we can't have any bullshit. Like we're already missing a lot of guys.
Yeah.
So we need to address Big Ben. I know it's like a joke. It's been a running joke. I've been saying this for a long time. I would love either Kirk Cousins to go to the Steelers, or I would love for Jameis Winston to go to the Steelers.
Okay.
And
I like Jameis.
I like Jameis a lot. The Steelers, I think Mike Tomlin he'd be like Arians, but without the bullshit that Arians pulled, where he's like, yeah, we love our guys. And as soon as he's in the other room, he's like, well, I wish he wouldn't fucking do that. I didn't want him to do that shit.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin wouldn't do that.
I love Tomlin. Tomlin is such an underrated coach in this league.
People love dogging him, which doesn't make any sense to me at all.
He's such a good coach.
Unappreciated. Never had a losing season.
Yep. In 14 years, I think?
Yeah.
Something ridiculous like that.
And when his guys start acting a fool, they're gone. Look at AB.
Right.
He dealt with it longer than he should have probably, but I don't know. I like the team that they I like the Steelers culture. We got solid leaders, especially with Hayward, tone setter, Watt, tone setter, Minka Fitzpatrick, tone setter. Yeah. Offense wise, I mean, we got some TikTok stars at wide receiver. We got a former first round pick that can't catch anything, and we got a future Hall of Famer quarterback, and then we got James Conner, who is a cancer survivor and occasionally plays full games of football from time to time.
Occasionally, yes.
Yeah, no, I don't think Steelers would make that move. Like you said, I think they either go O-line, quarterback, or defense. I don't think running back is even on their radar till 2 at the earliest, third round more likely, and then fourth round.
Like, and what's the advantages of taking Harris? I mean, I get he's going to be good, but there are other guys. I mean, the Steelers produce running backs. Like, they don't need the best one; they just need one.
Yeah,
that isn't James Conner and hurt 24/7, or Benny Snell, who is a little confused sometimes.
Yeah. No, agreed.
Y'all got any more questions for us? Slowing down a little early today.
People are just ready. Either that or they've been knocked out. They don't have anything to do now.
Yeah,
right.
No, tough bunch of losers.
Yeah, just lump me into that category.
You're a bum, Steve.
I am. I'm a bum this season. COVID killed me.
I still got 6 leagues going this week, so
nice. Yeah, I got several. I haven't really counted any of my chickens yet, but I'm in some fights. I was in some fights last week too, man. Like, it was crazy how last week was probably the most intense. It was back and forth in every league I was in.
Yep.
I mean, you still got to make sure you check your lineups and everything, because some of those leagues will determine your draft picks based off how you play it.
Yep, I've been through and made my adjustments already, but I'll definitely swing through again.
Mm-hmm.
I had Brian Burns in a couple of spots and out a couple of spots last night, so that kind of hurt.
How do you end up doing?
He did great. He had 25 points in IDP.
Really?
Scoring. Yeah, he had I'll get it right here. He had 4 solos, 2 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, and 2 quarterback hits. And I mean, that's impressive. Aaron Rodgers, you know, I sat him in a couple of spots is just because I was like, well, what's the upside? 1 sack, and that's like max. But I mean, I was impressed.
Brian Burns is good, dude.
No, he's not good. He's great. Like, he's
right. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's one of those guys that we're gonna be talking about him for a while.
Yeah, I think so.
He's not Max Crosby.
Okay. God. Yeah.
And I'm even wondering what Josh Allen's life's all about these days. Some of these auxiliary numbers are not as good as I'd really want them to be. But anybody in Jacksonville is basically handicapped. That's something I think is not talked about enough on defensive football. It's just like, I feel like some guys just, if they play at shitty spots, even if they're playing a ton of snaps and all that, especially defensive line, like, they just don't do anything. There's no real incentive for them to perform. Like, most of your really good pass rushers, I feel like, are on really good teams offensively. Za'Darius Smith, TJ Watt, Shaq Barrett, JPP, you know, Carlos Dunlap when he goes to Seattle. Like, there's something about being on a team that's actually fucking good that makes defenders want to be fucking good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I think a lot of the time they play up or down to what's around them. Mm-hmm. And I think with Josh Allen especially, you know, you look at, you know, somebody who's rushing the passer a lot, you want there to be coverage on the back end to give you some time, and that's just, they don't have any coverage there. I mean, I think CJ Anderson is their one right now, and he's been meh. But
he's just a kid.
Yeah. I think he's got potential, but I mean, whatever. But I don't know. I still like Josh Allen. I think, you know, now is kind of a good buy window because of how much of a terrible season he's had.
What would you give for Josh Allen? Let's talk.
What would I give?
Yep.
Not much, but
okay, let's do it this way. When I say that, I'm talking strictly picks. That's kind of that's like my new thing. Okay, guys and gals out there. Everything, all of my offense to defense questions get filtered through picks to some degree. So, what would you give? That's why that message, that's why that poll today was Chase Young 110. Okay, so now I have a gauge of what people think. People think Chase Young predominantly is worth more than the 110. So now my question is, do I go up to, like, is Chase Young or 105? Or do I start saying 110, 110 plus? So am I saying like 110 and the 2.8? Is Chase Young worth that?
Sure.
That might be my next bit. So that's going to give me like, a filter to see, okay. And then I start saying what kind of offensive trades are getting done with these kind of picks. And then that'll give you some kind of idea of offense to defensive value.
Interesting.
So essentially now we know that whatever your first round pick can get you, a late first, is essentially Chase Young should be able to get you that and maybe a little more. At least get you that if we're talking. And that's kind of the purpose of those polls. So to my original question, what is Josh Allen worth in picks to you?
I mean, so assuming Superflex,
Superflex,
12 team ish,
12 Superflex, 12 team, 8 IDP starters, maybe 9 or 10. Like just a full IDP roster. I mean, that varies obviously, but 8 or 9, and then this year's picks. Don't be giving me 2020.
Right. I'd probably late 2, early 3. I'd probably go with still.
You even give a late 2 for Josh Allen still.
I believe in the talent, man. I just and the thing is, okay, so I'm somebody who
you would give that, or you would ask for that.
I'd give that.
I'm selling.
So
yeah, I mean, I would sell that for sure.
And this is coming from a guy. Granted, if I only had my strict set of picks, my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, I might not. But I'm a guy who I accrue picks. That's my thing. When I trade, it's like I want a player in a pick minimum.
Yeah, you usually have a stockpile. That definitely plays into how people value their picks too. If you have one first, you're a lot less likely to just move it.
Right. Yeah.
First. So that's your league. I mean, again, we're all kind of assuming. And again, picks are the closest thing you have in fantasy to true currency, because they are agnostic. They don't have team value. They don't have point value. They are nothing but potential, in a numerical setup. So their value is one of the only things that is steady. It's like a control.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talking about some meta shit up in here, IDP Army. I'm a rocket scientist. I'm gonna get my pencil out. I'm gonna Matt Patricia the fuck out of the IDP Army.
Yeah, hopefully not, because that would be bad for the IDP Army.
I know.
I'm just kidding, guys and gals. All right, we got a couple questions here from Russ. Bell or Kenny Moore? I'm going Bell.
I would as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Moore popped last week, and he is good. But Von Bell, I mean, just play your starting strong safety on a shit team who's putting up points. Quinnen Williams or Tuitt? I'm going Tuitt. Big Steelers fan. Big Tuitt fan. I know Quinnen Williams has been doing a lot better this year than he did last year, and I'm very into him / in on him, but not over Tuitt this week. What platform do y'all use for Dynasty? I play predominantly on Sleeper. I play on MFL as well.
Sleeper for me. That's my real only. I do Yahoo for a couple redraft leagues, but
yeah.
I use Flea Flicker, but I like Sleeper a lot.
Yeah. I wish they'd get away from like some of the gimmicky stuff, like the mascots and stuff like that makes the app crash. But it is what it is. It's still, in my opinion, the best app out there. Just needs some work here and there. But
yeah. Well, that's what I like about them, though, is it's not even close to the same app it was a year ago or 2 years ago. It's constantly changing. The other apps don't do that. So it is evolving. So when people tell me, oh, I hate MFL or I hate Dynasty Sleeper because of this, I'm like, okay, but like, when was the last time you were actually on Sleeper, like, and actually tried to play in the league? Is this your issue from a year ago? Because the whole interface is different now than it used to be. Up. I mean, it's similar, but it's different, and they constantly are tweaking it and changing it, and they listen to your feedback. So that's more than any other platform except maybe RSO and Flea Flicker can say.
Yeah,
I don't know how they are about actually making moves, but I know Sleeper, they make moves. I mean, they're the thing about the reason Sleeper will win the platform wars, the cold wars of the platforms, is because they're consumer centric, not commissioner centric, consumer centric. Remember this conversation when they buy MFL in 3 or 4 years. Okay, consumer centric. That's why they will win.
Yeah,
this has been my TED Talk.
Thanks for coming. But yeah, no, I don't know. I found them. I've been with them since they were just like a fantasy news app. And like just to see. Go ahead.
the thing people don't understand too is like because it's still new, it's like not fleshed out yet. Like there's so much potential here. Even as someone I've been using it for a long time, there are little things about it that I've gotten into, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's an untapped potential of community growth and tools and stuff you can do within this platform that people, because they're like, oh, the candy cane shooter pissed me off. They don't understand. They don't see what's going on over here or what could go on over here. Whereas the people that are, a little more observant on a macro level, you're starting to see these things figure out. Why do you think look at the fantasy footballers? They've been on it since day one. Yeah, I don't talk about it so much anymore, but they're tied into that. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Where the fantasy footballers go, the industry goes. That right there is breadcrumb number one.
Right.
I mean,
that's a big old breadcrumb too.
Yeah. But. So again, who's your audience? I mean, do you want to, appeal to 30 guys that are 50 years old in 32 team dynasty leagues? Or do you want, again, consumers, do you want people to hear the information that you have, You have to go where the people are. You can't just make the people come to you.
Right. Yeah.
Another question, Corey Albright, Keanu Neal or Adrian Phillips?
I like Neal this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in on Neal.
It's close, but
yeah, I don't want to have any. If I have a choice of a player or a New England player, it's generally the player.
The other player.
Yeah, the other player.
Well, yeah, it's not a bad way because, I mentioned this in one of my articles last week. I think that New England just usually doesn't have like great IDP players. Either they're kind of one of those teams that it's like everybody does everything. So everybody contributes, everybody pitches in. Yep. Nobody is racking up tackles. Nobody's, doing any crazy turnovers and stuff like that. So they're just kind of a mad team to have players on, unless they have a good matchup. So
they're better than everyone. They used to be.
Yeah, I think everyone's glad to see that dynasty slow down for at least a little bit.
Oh, it's done.
No, we'll get a quarterback and then you'll be done again.
Oh yeah, listen to this guy. Listen to this guy. We'll just get a quarterback. Everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine. That's what happened with all the other ones.
Yeah, look at everybody else who's just looking for. We're just one quarterback away. There's teams that have been saying that since the inception of the league.
Remember when
they don't have Bill Belichick as a
this guy.
coach.
Bill Belichick's old as fuck, man. Like
so is Nick Saban.
Well, I mean, these guys don't live. He ain't gonna live forever. Pretty soon, it's gonna be his son up there, mullet head, be coaching. Right. He'll be coaching. He'll be coaching the ghost of Lamar Jackson here in about 6 years.
Oh God.
Ooh, Wilson or Nyheim Hines this week, fellas? Jeff Wilson.
Oh.
Probably Hines, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
Maybe.
All right, IDP Army. We will stay here with y'all for 2-3 more minutes, and then we're going to hop off of here. We've answered a plethora of questions. I've got about 54 Twitter notifications since I sat down, so that looks like a nightmare.
I got a couple too. But.
I try. The problem with being a part of fantasy football Twitter is you get tagged and stuff. The problem with being tagged and stuff is you miss out on interacting with your audience sometimes because you just have so much, almost like spam email. And it's just like people, and especially there's a lot of people respond to GIFs on those threads, like as a thank you. And I do appreciate when people tag me and stuff, but a lot of times I try not to even interact with those posts because I know everyone's getting spammed with all that stuff. I'm just like, occasionally I'll like appreciate it, but I'm like, man, like, do we all got to put a hat tip emoji, to get it. So, like I said, I got 54 notifications to dig through. Hopefully, I can get to the good ones that are the IDP Army asking me questions and not a bunch of GIFs of people saying thank you.
Thank you.
Good day to you, sir.
Howdy.
Championship weeks next week. There will probably be only a few of our disciples left. No. Scratch that shit.
They're
Every
all
one of
gonna
you
be
is gonna
all of
win.
them.
Every single one of you is gonna win this week. All right. Every single one of you will be back
Give you the best
Next
advice.
for some advice. I don't claim to have the best advice.
The
We will
best
help
advice
you.
available on this channel.
We don't
There
play
will
for
be
second.
advice.
We play for first. Hopefully you are in a position to do that with some of the questions we got today. Some of you are set, ready, set, jump set. So good luck. I'm Bob, thank you again for coming on. We appreciate you helping us out, helping out the IDP Army. And hopefully, like we said, you do well this week. Steve does well. I do well. We're all back next week. Get those championships. Anything you wanna say to anybody before we go?
I mean, just thanks again for having me on. Thanks for everybody, chiming in, asking some questions, giving us something to do this Sunday morning besides setting our lineups. I do a lot of my writing at Fantasy Six Pack. I'll be doing a ton of work at Dynasty Rewind this off season. So tune in there, check me out. And yeah, like I said, thanks again for having me. Happy to be here. So
Sure thing. Steve, anything you want to tell them?
If you're not playing IDP, you're only playing half the game.
All right, we're out.